What's going on, everyone? So earlier today, the Los Angeles Lakers signed Marcus Smart off of a buyout, and this looks like a trade is coming. Looks like it is signaling a trade. So the Los Angeles Lakers are expected to waive Shake Milton. Right? Time of this recording hasn't happened yet. Maybe while you're watching this video, it's happened. But even waiving Shake Milton does not free up the cap space in order to sign Marcus Smart. They signed him to a 2-year, $11 million contract, which is the biannual, $5.5 million a year. So they signed him to the biannual exception. So waiving Shake Milton does not open up enough to get there. Lakers are only $900,000 under the apron, which they are hard capped at, the first apron. So not only would they have to waive Shake Milton, they'd also have to waive Jordan Goodwin too. Now he has like $2.3 million, but only like $200,000 or a little over $200,000 of it is guaranteed. So yes, they could waive Jordan Goodwin and Shake Milton to bring in Marcus Smart. But a couple things about that. One, I want to add Marcus Smart to the roster and the team on top of doing other moves. Not kind of like losing a guy that could be very helpful over the course of a regular season in Jordan Goodwin and maybe even come playoff time. He's very good for the Lakers. Gives you a hard nose, defensive, versatile, excellent rebounder. Right? You need more Jordan Goodwins, not less. And yes, Marcus Smart, don't get me wrong, if it's Jordan Goodwin and Shake Milton or Marcus Smart, you go with Marcus Smart. I think Marcus Smart has the potential if he can stay healthy. That's really the only concern with Marcus Smart. But it's such a low risk, high reward at $5 million. You're fine. You're not worried about it. Plus, you're not looking for Marcus Smart to be one of your kind of top end guys, right? He's not going to be one of your top 5 guys. He's probably going to be, your 6, 7 guys. Big difference. But if you're the Lakers, right? Like you want addition rather than subtraction in addition, right? And so if you can keep Jordan Goodwin, that would be great. Also, you'd have an open roster spot if you waived Jordan Goodwin, but you wouldn't be able to fill it anytime soon. Right? You'd essentially have to fill it towards the end of the season. And yes, you'd have like $900,000 left over. So like right before the playoffs, you could bring a guy in as your 15th guy. Lakers also do like to keep their 15th roster spot open. However, you want flexibility. Like you don't want to be in a position to where if something happens, knock on wood, and you need to fill a void or a player doesn't work or whatever, trade ends up happening and now you need to fill a roster spot and you don't have the cap space in order to do it. Right? Like you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're handcuffed now. Right? You want to put yourself in a position where you maintain the flexibility. That doesn't mean you need to have, $10 million under the apron, but you want to have, enough to sign a guy if need be, if that opportunity buyout ends up happening. It's like, wow, this guy solves exactly what we need, right? A Jeremy Grant gets bought out. It's like, dude, we can go get Jeremy Grant right now. But if you're not in a position to sign him, then you can't. Right? So if you're the Lakers, I think Rob Pelinka is cooking. Even just remove my opinion for a second, and we look at kind of the reports that have came out recently. The reports were that Rob Pelinka was going to be doing work and putting in work during Summer League to make some moves and have some things happen, right? As soon as he gets out of Summer League, boom, Lakers end up landing Marcus Smart. They have to waive Shake Milton at the end of the day. They haven't done it yet. So is Shake Milton going to be included in a trade? Is that what's going to happen? What's going to end up happening? Again, at the time of recording this video, it hasn't happened yet. Maybe it's happened and we have our answer, but again, maybe he's included in a deal. We know Rob Pelinka is cooking because he's been making moves, right? Lakers have solved basically all of their key issues. They still need more. I don't think that they're there yet, but they're pretty clear getting close, right? Marcus Smart is a huge step in the right direction. To me, a lot of it is just kind of seeing how this roster plays out, right? It's one thing to look at something on paper. It's another thing to see how it works, right? Like how do the pieces fit? How does everything come together? What does Luka look like, right? What does LeBron look like? Austin Reeves, does that fit? Do you end up having Trevor Austin Reeves at some point, right? Does DeAndre Ayton now basically become your guy for you? There's so many things. Jake LaRavia, what does he look like? Don't sleep on Jake LaRavia. There's so many kind of what ifs with this team that you're not really going to have answered until they start to play, until you start seeing them a couple games. We could get 25 games in and they're 20-5 in the 1 or 2 seed in the Western Conference, and we're like, dude, they are really good. Or they could end up being 5 and 20 at that point. Who knows? I don't think they'd be that bad, right, with Luka and LeBron. But still, you never know, like, where they're going to rank as far as, like, once we actually see them play. But we've had all these reports about the Lakers are looking to consolidate, looking at a consolidation trade, want to kind of free up more roster spots. They still have several needs, and Al Horford would be great. This talks about a Nikola Vucevic potentially being bought out in a month or so. They're still kind of trying to shop him, but they're not having any success. And you got guys like Jeremy Grant that are kind of, Blazer people are like, hey, Portland might end up buying him out. There are going to be other options. And I've talked about, let's kind of get through this buyout area, right? And then once we get through the buyouts, then you start making the big moves, right? Like, they don't have to officially sign Marcus Smart today. He's coming. You can kind of work through everything. Another guy gets bought out. Boom. Okay, let's get him. And then now you're finding that trade. I don't want a consolidation trade just for consolidation. Like, Gabe Vincent is probably a goner. I think that's a safe bet. But I don't know. Like, I don't want to see them just, hey, here's Gabe Vincent and 3 pick swaps for taking his contract. Like, I'd rather you go get a guy. I'll just use Andrew Wiggins as an example. It's just an example. I know the reports, all of that. I'm just saying, using him as an example because everyone is familiar with the Andrew Wiggins situation, right? Like, if you could go and get an Andrew Wiggins and clear $5 million off your books to sign Marcus Smart, perfect. Right? Like, that's what I'd like to see the Lakers do. I don't want to see them just kind of dump a guy just to dump a guy. And it's like, yeah, well, now we have this and we waive Shake Milton, so we open up a roster spot. We can sign a guy. But it's just, again, I want addition. I don't want, I don't want to subtract 2 to add 1, right? Like, I want to, swap. Okay, this guy's clear an upgrade over this guy, right? Shake Milton, Marcus Smart gives you what you need. He's an upgrade. Well, now Gabe Vincent becomes the best. Okay, so let's move Gabe Vincent in order to make this happen, so on and so forth, right? Like, and kind of go down the line of like, okay, what's the next thing we need? Lakers needed a center. Boom, solve the center. We really need a point of attack guy. Boom, solve the point of attack guy. Could use a 3-and-D wing. Boom, solve the 3-and-D wing. Right? We could use a more veteran 3-and-D wing. Okay, let's wait and see. Maybe somebody becomes available. If not, okay, let's go make this trade and end up, making that move, right? So there's still a lot of options on the table for the Lakers. There's still a lot of things that can happen and develop. Rob Pelinka, again, look, the Lakers got so far, again, we're still 2 months away from training camp, so far has gotten Marcus Smart, right? DeAndre Ayton and Jake LaRavia. Those 3 guys we have gotten this offseason. It's a good offseason. I mean, most teams aren't signing 5, 6, 7, 8 guys in offseason. You're not building a whole new roster in the offseason. You're usually adding a couple guys. And the Lakers got the best center that they possibly could have gotten, even via trade. They got, one of the better kind of defensive on-ball guards that they could have gotten via signing, even via trade, right? Like, if the Lakers traded for Marcus Smart, a lot of people would have been really thrilled. I'm glad that they didn't, right? Obviously. But there are people that wanted the Lakers to go trade for Marcus Smart, right? Like, go trade for him before he gets bought out and signs elsewhere. And it's like, why? Like, if that happens, it happens, and you move on to the next guy, right? Lakers could still go bring in another guy, right? Like, I'm not, like, if you have to waive Jordan Goodwin, you have to waive Jordan Goodwin, right? Like, it would suck, because I like Jordan Goodwin, and I think that he could really help this roster, especially over an 82-game season. But if it's like, hey, we can't, like, we have to back out of the Marcus Smart deal unless we waive Jordan Goodwin, then you waive Jordan Goodwin, right? It's that simple. But I would prefer that the Lakers kind of figure out a solution for a trade. I think that Rob Pelinka knows a trade is coming, right? If anyone would, it'd be him. He's having the conversations. Like, there's a lot of talks about the Lakers. I mean, literally, we've been hearing for weeks that the Lakers are working on various trades, right? You've had guys like Dave McMillan are like, they're like in the thick of conversations, right? Things take time, especially in the offseason. Like, teams aren't in a rush. Like, that's the thing. That's why I preach so much patience. Like, we're so early into the offseason. We still have 2.5 months before training camp. Like, teams aren't sprinting to the door to go make a trade with the Lakers, right? Teams aren't sprinting to the door to unload guys yet, right? Like, hey, you want this guy now? This is the price. But as you get closer to training camp, all of a sudden it becomes, okay, fine, we'll do it for this, right? Now, we still want it and then maybe you find that happy medium. Maybe you don't, right? But at the end of the day, the Lakers are going to find moves. Rob Pelinka done a really good job. Like, again, so many people are just like, everyone's gotten better. It's like, the Lakers have too. Like, why are we pretending like the Lakers didn't get better? There was genuine conversation after the Luka trade of like, Lakers are a center away from winning an NBA championship. The Lakers trade for Mark Williams and everyone's like, oh, here comes an NBA championship. And then even after that trade falls through and we watch the Minnesota series, everyone's like, man, if the Lakers would have had a center, that might have been different. Like, what would that have looked like had they had Mark Williams? And now the Lakers go and get DeAndre Ayton, who is better than Mark Williams, and the perfect type of center alongside Luka, and everyone's like, Lakers are trash. And then also land Jake LaRavia, who was an 18-point-a-game scorer for Sacramento before he got hurt. And everyone's like, oh, yeah. And then now they get Marcus Smart. It's like, again, let Rob cook. Let's wait. That's why so many people, like, Tyler, you need to be more critical of Rob. Why? Let's wait for the end result. Right? Why would I criticize a man that isn't finished cooking? Why am I going to insult the man's food before I even get to see it? Like, let him finish. He's working on the stew. He's cooking it up. Let the man finish, and then we can make the assessments and critiques accordingly. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.